Hi, welcome to this webinar, The Future of Your Connected Business with an iPaaS, or How to Select Your Ultimate iPaaS. I'm Ruben, the CEO and founder of Yenlo, and next to me is Dominique Mulder, head of our cloud solutions, and in particular on our Connect platform. So this webinar is all about the story of our customers. It's all about how our customers became very successful in their digital transformation and their API-led strategy. I will tell you a little bit about their business side, and Dominique will tell you all about the integration platform as a service, which is underneath their success. So Dom, I will ask you to join the stage in 5 minutes. Please allow me to introduce the topic to the audience. So again, this is not really my story. I'm just a storyteller. I'm telling the story, and Dominique as well, of our customers. But first of all, maybe it's good for you to understand who Yenlo actually is and who we are, and based on which experience I'm telling you this story. So Yenlo is a global system integrator with one specialized focus, and that is all about integration. Integrating your data, your application systems, or your business processes. And we do that, of course, with a lot of people. We call them specialists, more than 200, spread all over the world in several offices, as you can see in my slide, current slide. And with these experts, we have hundreds and hundreds of customer success stories behind us. We did already many implementation projects, from design to development and to operations. And I'm going to share the summarized experience and again the story of our customers when it comes down to a digital transformation and API-led strategy. So, while traveling and talking to our customers, we discovered one thing. The key thing what customers realized when we talk about digitalization, they understood what makes them actually a company. What is their added value in the world? Why do they exist? And they understood that their data, or you can translate that also to intellectual property or their IP, actually the data they have around customers, products, behavior, that's actually adding a lot of value. The only challenge here is, or the only problem here is, data by itself, so they understood data is the new gold, but data by itself is rather passive. It's laying dead in your database, it's doing actually nothing. So many customers, they collected data for many years, and they store it in a relational database, and it's just there. So customers I spoke to, which are successful, they understood somehow I have to make my data from passive, I have to make it active. So by adding machine learning, adding IoT, by enriching the data, they created additional value to the data for their customers. So they understood, okay, I have the data, I have to make it from passive to active, I have to add value. The next step in their journey is, okay, how can I expose the data to my customers or to my B2B partner and actually monetize that? How can I expose my gold and earn something with it? And earning means, of course, euros of dollars, but it also means customer experience or customer happiness. That is also something you can monetize. So they understood my data, and again, it also means IP. That is my new gold, and that is something I have to bring to the market. But they also understood it's not only about adding value with my data, they also understood somebody should wait on it. I cannot just push it to the market. Hey, hello, I've got some interesting data. No, it's the other way around. Is there somewhat or somebody actually waiting on that added value on your data? So they understood it's not only about having that new gold, it's also about, is there a compelling event? And let me give you a couple of examples of a few of our customers. So the first is a very well-known bank. It's Hanseatic Bank. They are part of Société Générale all over Europe. And Hanseatic Bank understood with their compelling event, which is actually driven by law, the PSD2 law, the Payment Directive number 2. They understood, hey, okay, there is a new law. I have to implement that law. But it's all about exposing data and sharing your data with both customers and competitors. But they understood, okay, I have to do that by law, but I can do two things. In a negative way, I don't want to share my data with other banks. But on the other side, when I have to share my data and my competitor have to share data, why aren't I collecting the data and add more value to my customers? So their compelling event was driven by law. A second example is a little bit less positive. It's the pandemic. So we all had the corona all over the world. That's no news, nothing new to us. But what may be new to you is we as Yenlo, we assist a lot the Dutch government exposed by GGD. We actually created the backbone, all the integrations for the Corona Check app, the QR code, which made us able to travel again all over the world. So you were allowed or not allowed to travel. So their compelling event, it's of course not that positive, but was a pandemic. And what that drives and what that brings to the table is time to market. We, but also them, they had to deliver very fast all the integrations with the hospitals, with the GPs, with the labs, and in the end to the public, to expose the QR code and to reveal if you were able to travel or not. So their compelling event was the pandemic, and somebody was actually waiting on their data, right? The third example is another customer, also in healthcare. It's UKT, Universiteit Klinikum Tübingen, back in Germany. It's an extremely large university hospital. And their compelling event was innovation, but innovation a little bit driven by legislation again. So in the coming years, within the US and in Europe, we have the new Open Healthcare 2.0. And from a technology point of view, that means we are getting into the FHIR specification, the FHIR standard. So driven by innovation, but accelerated by a new standard called Open Healthcare, with UKT, we implemented FHIR APIs. And those FHIR APIs are on top of their patient or customer client data. And with those FHIR APIs, they created new added value. And it's all about patient onboarding, ordering your meal from home, make the whole onboarding process inside the hospital more efficient, from a relaxed environment for the patient. Back in their home, they already can onboard their hospitalization. So their compelling event was the data, and on top of the data, open healthcare specifications, by in the end adding value to the customer or actually patient journey. And the fourth example is one of our customers back in Switzerland. They are in the area of the last mile for commuters. So you leave your home and you take a car or a bike or something else and go to public transport, and the last mile from the railway station to your office building, you take another car from them. And their compelling event was also innovation, by adding and enriching their data with commute information, train tables, bus schedules, metro schedules, and the availability of a car or a motor or a cycle which is available at that moment in time in an area of less than 50 meters. They add real value, and by innovating, they become very successful in their digital transformation. So the first thing our customer realized is there a compelling event? Is there somebody or somewhat waiting on our data, our added value? That's the first thing that made them successful. The second one is quite easy and quite fast to explain. They also understood when I understand my data as the new gold, and when I understand there needs to be a compelling event, my competitor understands that as well. So they understood, okay, when we find a new innovative business model, my competitor as well, then there's only one thing how I can survive, and that is being the first. So being the first, deploying or exposing an API or deploying a new business model to the B2C or the B2B market. So they understood we need to be fast. We need to have to address this very fast. Getting back to the GGD, the Corona Check app, maybe a not so nice story, but from a business perspective, from a time to market perspective, it's really extraordinary. So from start to finish, from the first call we got, whereby there was a cry for help, a cry for assistance to integrate all the hospital systems, to integrate all the GPs, to integrate all the labs together, we did it in less than 14 calendar days. So in just 2 weeks of time, from 0 to 100. And translating this back to all of our customers, what they also understood when it comes to competitors, they understood when we have a great business idea, we should deliver it in less than 100 days, or what I call the magic 12 weeks. So the time to market is crucial when you innovate and when you bring new APIs or your data to the market. So the third thing our customer realized is a little bit more complex to tell, and we have to dive a little bit deeper. So the third thing to address them is you have to understand, you probably have the same challenges. What are actually the challenges anno 2023 and beyond? There are many challenges, of course, but I want to drill down to 3 main challenges which is generic throughout our customers we are speaking to. The first thing everybody keeps addressing to us is we cannot find the right persons anymore. There is a huge shortage of skilled employees. You probably have that one guy in your organization, the guy who knows it all, that guy with 5 legs, right? He has got all the knowledge about the technology. He's got all the knowledge about the systems. He's got all the knowledge about how to integrate. Finding that one guy and expand is really difficult now these days because there's simply a huge shortage of skilled people, and especially in IT. It's getting so complex with all the technology. It's not only about an API manager or about a microservices. It's also about all the other technology under the hood. And somebody should address that. Somebody should govern that. The second challenge we hear all the time is budget. Budgets are under pressures big time. Of course, maybe due to the economical situation, and maybe there is a recession going on, but generally speaking, budgets are always under pressure. And the complaint we always got from customers is that they have to deliver more, they have to deliver faster, and they have to deliver with less budget than the previous years. It's a challenge in the end. And third, but certainly not last, is a challenge that the future is uncertain. Uncertainty with war going on, uncertainty with energy crisis going on, uncertainty of maybe we are ending up in a recession or not. So with that uncertainty, it's sometimes tough for people inside enterprises or IT managers to make decisions for the long run, because you don't know what happened next year or the year after. So to address these challenges, we say, okay, the only thing how we can address the shortage of people is simply by adding technology. If you don't have the people, then technology should fill in the gap. So the first remedy is smart technology. And Dominique will dive into that in his presentation. The second thing, how to overcome and to address the challenges, is of course everything as a service. And let me briefly explain to you. I think I'm not lying when I tell to you we cannot beat the public cloud providers anymore. We cannot beat Amazon, Azure, and Google. They are faster, they are cheaper, and they innovate way faster than you and I all together. So we better embrace that. We better go along and say everything as a service. When you already have a shortage of people, why do you want to invent everything yourself? You can also say, okay, I go back to my core skills or my core asset, back to the data, back to that business knowledge, and all the surroundings, I do it as a service. It's faster and cheaper than doing it by yourself. And the third one, of course, is a best of breed or an API-led strategy. And let me briefly explain that one to you as well. Uncertainty, what you don't want when you are uncertain is to have a login for multiple years. You want to keep the freedom to choose. You want to keep the freedom to adjust and to adapt to a new situation inside your organization or the market where you operate in. So when you have uncertainty, you should avoid a vendor lock-in. You should avoid a lock-in with Yenlo. You should avoid a lock-in with any technology vendors, for instance with a huge license cost or the lack of knowledge. So avoiding a lock-in, I think is reachable by following a best-of-breed approach. Pick and choose the technology that fits your current situation, but also fits the future situation which you currently predict. But by picking and choosing a best-of-breed technology approach, you can also replace a certain piece of technology. When you don't like your API management solution from vendor A, you just simply switch it off and implement API manager of vendor number B. That's what we mean with the best-of-breed approach, freedom to choose. And by adding an API-led strategy, you are not only decoupling your internal IT systems, which we do already for many years with an enterprise service bus or microservices. Now by an API-led strategy, you also decouple with your external facing interfaces. You decouple with your B2B partner or your B2C customer with mobile apps or your website or whatever you expose your data and your processes. So an API-led strategy, it's not about technology. It's not about only adding value and go to market. It's also about creating flexibility for your uncertain future. So these three elements, to wrap up the last one, and didn't give you the third one. So the third one all drills down to what we summarize as the power to execute. So what our customers realize in being successful in their digital transformation and in the end in an API-led strategy, again, they understood data's new gold. And there should be a compelling event. Somebody or somewhat should wait on your data, your enriched data. Secondly, they understood that time to market is crucial to beat your competitors. And we have the golden rule, less than 100 days or 12 weeks. And the third is what I just wrapped up with this slide, is the power to execute. They all understood, I cannot do it myself anymore. I need to address the shortage of people, I need to address my budget creep, and I need to address a best-of-breed approach. So they understood, I need to have the tools with me, I need to have the power to execute. And this is actually where Dominique jumps in. So they understood, I need the power to execute, and we translate that, they understood, we need an integration platform as a service. As a service. And that gives me the tools and the freedom to really go faster time to market. So I would like to welcome Dominique to the stage. He will walk you through our own Connect platform and the reasons why our Connect platform addresses actually all of these challenges out of the box. So Dominique, welcome to the stage. The floor is yours.
Thanks, Ruben, for this introduction. For my part of the presentation, I would like to take you on a little journey, because we have to practice what you preach, and the power to execute is something we value very much. Within Yenlo, we have been doing integration projects for quite some customers all over the world, and we gained quite some experience in combining data, grouping data, sharing data with the world, helping the customers build the integration systems. Working with these customers, we came to challenges quite often, because building the integration is awesome, but the integrations has to land on an infrastructure, on a platform, which can be operated. Working with these customers, we experienced having people available who have the knowledge and can be made available and take responsibility of setting up your infrastructure, your databases, your virtual machines, those kind of things. Once this is set up, you have to decide which technology, which applications, which configurations you need. The time to market is crucial in here. Ruben already said the 12 weeks, 100 days going live. It's a very important time lapse to follow. The moment you get your initial configuration in place, you have to run it and you have to operate it, and you become successful, and immediately you have a high load. Ruben already told you about the GTD, the corona. You can expect when everyone is in lockdown and we get the ability to travel again, if you show your QR code, the whole country wants to travel at once. So you can imagine going live within 2 weeks with this platform. We challenged an enormous growth in traffic. Your platform needs to be ready for that. Last but not least, it has to be secure and operated. So you want to make sure that the patches are being applied, security practices and best practices are being applied to your systems. So by automating middleware applications, we already knew how to do that with provisioning scripts and those kind of things. We figured we want to take it a step further. How can we solve this? The solution is cloud strategy. We think automating everything by leveraging Amazon, Azure, those kind of cloud providers, they give you the possibility to deploy by code. And that means you can make it repeatable, you can make it predictable and secure. As a company, you have to make a decision. Do you want to go to a public cloud, a private cloud, or a combination of both? That means cloud is not only the big vendors, cloud is also the ability to have an on-prem infrastructure that allows you to quickly deploy virtual machines, networking configuration, those kind of things. The moment you've made your decision where to have your infrastructure landed, you have to choose, do you want to have a platform as a service? So we deploy the applications for you, you're going to build your integrations yourself. Or do you need front till end or start till end? Deploy your applications, build the integrations, help you share it with the world. Or only the last step, the SaaS solution. Only the integration from A to B on a shared environment. So while thinking about how to build this as a structured platform, the ultimate iPaaS, we came to the basic cloud fundamentals. And the most important part is automate everything. Auto-healing, auto-scaling, auto-recovery, all those kind of topics. Security is a very important topic. Being compliant with legislation in your region or internal compliance rules. As a company, we help you explain how to be and document how to be compliant with all security guidelines. It has to be affordable because you want to go to market, you don't want to have a sudden surprise in cost or those kind of things. And last but not least, everything has to be made predictable, testable, so that you always know what's going to happen without having downtime with changes or those kind of things. Your customers rely on you, you have to provide that service. So that's the basic guideline, how we came to the idea building the Connext platform. As a company, we're doing integrations. And integrations means combining data, grouping data, sorting data, and exposing that to the world. So authentication, authorization, API management, and integration are the main topics. On top of that, the platform should have a capability of monitoring and logging all the systems. You want to show the business value of your integrations. You want to have alerts when something goes wrong, or you have to steer something. And we do that with several tools. W2, our main weapon of choice, a very strong, competitive, open source solution for API management, ESB, microservices, and identity and access management. Delboomi, they give us the opportunity to have a very understandable low-code platform to build integrations with. For enterprise levels, we leverage the MuleSoft stack, and mainly the cloud providers Azure and Amazon are our systems we use to automate the infrastructure as code. Altogether, we call this integration agile, but there is a huge next step, Because just having the middleware applications available doesn't mean you have a fully managed solution. There's a lot of stuff to take care of. Version management, release management, testing, containerization, all those kind of topics are together what we think a very good, strong technology stack to have a managed solution. That's what we call Connext. So, developing from start till end, the infrastructure, the middleware, the artifacts on top of it, building, testing, deploying it in a continuously improvement loop is step one. But we believe technology is not only the solution. There's another step, which is monitoring and operations. So, combining our managed services department together with the fully automated technology stack in a cloud solution gives us the opportunity to provide the ultimate iPaaS solution. So looking at this diagram, with these technologies in mind, with these services in mind, we can provide you a platform of multiple variants. We either have the PaaS solution, which is a fully private solution just for your environment, no sharing of resources, no sharing of data, everything private. We hand you over the keys, build your integrations and APIs, and you're good to go. Also with this solution, our managed services team takes 24/7 responsibility of having your environment available. We can take that a step further, which is called the managed PaaS solution. It's same as the PaaS solution, a fully managed platform, but we also take care of building your integrations, managing your changes, and those kind of things. So it's start till end. You don't have to take care of anything. We take full responsibilities from beginning to end. And then, last but not least, we have the SaaS solution. We call it Connext Go. And therewith, we deliver you an integration from point A to B on a shared environment, low cost, fast time to market with just a simple integration. That brings us to the Connext ecosystem. Connext ecosystem is basically managed services combined with fully automated cloud solutions on-prem or in a major cloud vendor, automated processes, middleware applications, monitoring and alerting systems on top of your integration solutions. We think by this we can help you get to the market within that 100 days that Ruben talked about and give you the power to execute your next integration project. So, of course, there's a lot more to tell about the Connext platform. I'm happy to tell you everything, all the nitty-gritty technical details in a private session, and I'm very curious about your compelling event and the way you're going to go to market with your next integration project. Feel free to contact us anytime. Thank you for listening. Thanks.